Hello, this is David Everest, uh, miner at law, keeper of the Republic, Secretary of Mining for Twin Cedar Mining District. This is my opinion. I support rancher Mr. Bundy in his plight, but we don't want a war with the government because they got drones, they got machine guns, they got bombs, they got all things that could do horrible things. I don't know because my family used to build them long time ago. Anyways, so this is what I suggest you ranchers organize: the recall of your governor, the recall of your sheriff, and have new elections. Recall your county commissioners. You've got enough support in your community, you should be able to recall them. And then vote in the people that will defend you, especially the sheriff. The sheriff is in a breach of his fiduciary duty to the county. Have him impeached by voters' referendum. Do the same with your county commissioners. The county I'm from, Josephine County, we regularly uh, recall county commissioners. Now, I don't know if there's ever been one done on a sheriff, and I know you can do it. You just go out and gather the signatures. Let's have a civil society. Uh, Mr. Glenn Beck is correct. The best way is nonviolence. I'm not saying don't defend yourself at all. You have a right to your personal safety. You have a right to the people to be there to run interference. But I would say get politically active and recall your sheriff, recall your governor, recall whoever you got to recall that's your enemy, and work on that. Go to your county commissioners, file fiduciary duties of trust. And this is easy. You notice them through a legal document by writing it, and then they got to respond to it because you make it a legal notice. And I've done this before, and I'm on the verge of success because now I'm in the federal U.S. District Court of Washington, D.C., in breach of their duties, and I'm asking them to appoint a trustee to the valuable mineral deposit lands. Now, which includes grazing rights. These lands are supposed to be disposed of by the federal government. It's a requirement. It's a duty of trust. Recall Senator Reid, or have get a new sheriff in there, have him investigate him and arrest him for bribery. Because I don't care that he ain't personally taking the money. If his family's benefit, that's a conflict of interest, and it's not lawful. So impeach Senator Reid. You can do a recall on him. You have the right to do so. You have a political movement going. Don't ruin it by shooting law enforcement, even if they're not law enforcement. They've got guns. They've got control of the media. It won't go good for you. Do what I did. If they come to arrest you, they arrest you. Go to jail. I spent 30 days in jail. Then, if it turns out to be unlawful, federal judges ain't immune to being sued because I'm suing a magistrate and a federal judge right now. And the Court of U.S. Court of Appeals, Federal District Court, Washington, D.C., the second highest court in the land, has agreed to hear my case on appeal. Because, see, down here, when I filed the suit, Magistrate Clark recommended to dismiss. Well, he's a defendant. He can't recommend anything. And Judge Penner, he was a defendant. He dismissed it before I even got a chance for a ruling from the court. They're now in trouble because they're trustees of your rights. So sue them for breach of fiduciary duty, a breach of trust. and put them in as the trustee and you in as the beneficiary and what they call last will and testament, because those rights are your inheritance, uh, not only from your family, but from the law that granted it. Those are granted rights. And I would suggest that we let calmer heads prevail. I'm not saying for the militia to move away. I'm saying be smart. Don't be violent. Give peace a chance. And I know that you Mormon Christians are peaceful people because I've known a lot of you in my life. I'm not Mormon, but I respect your belief system. I respect all religious police business as long as you don't force it onto others. I believe in the Creator. I don't know about anything else. I know that everybody has their own version of their Bible. It's what you know in your heart is correct. Mr. Bundy, you're correct. You need to be a keeper of the Republic, but you need to do it without guns. Even though you have a Second Amendment and it worked, they backed down because they got outnumbered and they're not used to that. You have the numbers now. Do a political movement. Start a recall of your county commissioners, your sheriff, your governor, and Senator Reid. That's my recommendation as a keeper of the Republic for a civil society. We're not ready for any such thing. They've got everything when you're talking about force of power. And I'm afraid the military will shoot you because Obama has purged the military. He's only going to have people that follow orders. By the way, there's international agreements. You might be fighting the Chinese as their allies. I wouldn't recommend that. I believe in peaceful demonstrations. I've been involved in them before, and you need to give peace a chance. And if they spray you with mace, turn the other cheek. If they shoot you, they will look bad, especially if you're unarmed. So give peace a chance and listen to Mr. Beck. He's correct because even though they killed Martin Luther King, he changed everything. And so some people have to sacrifice to get a point across. And so as I say, give peace a chance, stand your ground, and be willing to take whatever consequences comes your way. Because in the end, standing there in a peaceful demonstration makes them look bad. Film it, get it up on YouTube, and I will pass it around. And I support a cause of recalling your sheriff, recalling your county commissioners, recalling your governor, recalling Senator Reid. I would suggest you get to work on that and less on thinking of warfare. I know you got a lot of military people there. I know they know a lot. They can do your security for the morons that might come out and mess with you, but only in self-defense. Don't be the aggressor, and be what Christ wanted you to be. Turn the other cheek and say, you want to hit this side too? Because in the long run, Christ changed everything, and you can too by standing your ground and kicking the money changers out of government. And oh, by the way, we need to end the Fed. If the Fed didn't exist, they wouldn't have the money to come after you. They're looking at starting a war. That's what Obama wants because he wants to become dictator. Because I wouldn't put it past him to start a war with the American citizens and then suspend elections and then proclaim himself as king. Well, that'll never happen if we remain peaceful with calm heads, a loving heart. Show your brothers a loving heart. Be kind, be generous, and most off, stand forward for your rights. I'm not saying give up the fight. I'm saying change the fight. Get these the rest of the people that don't know what you do for a living, because they don't understand. Most of these people on the East Coast work in an office. They wouldn't have the first thing knowing about what it takes to ranch. That you need 320 acres per cow, and you could explain to them if you had to buy hay, it'd be $500 a pound for ribeye. Otherwise, and I know these are God given rights and nobody can take them away from you, but they sure could infringe on you. You have the right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. So go and be happy and stand your ground, but let's do it a different way. Mr. Bundy, you should get hooked up with Mr. Wayne Hage Jr. He's taken him to court, and he's a very smart man. You should listen to what he has to say, and you should sue in U.S. District Court, Court of Claims, Federal District Court. It's in Washington, D.C. It's just below the Supreme Court. It's the second highest court in the land because it's an appeals court, but it's also a trial court. You can hold a trial there, and you can try the BLM for a fiduciary breach in their duties and the criminal acts they've taken. So sue them. That's my recommendation. And you should talk to Mr. Wayne Hage. I've read his work. It's very good, and I've used some of it before. And so, go with God. Remember what Jesus said. Turn the other cheek. Um, and I know that it's hard. I've actually been beat up before by clowns. I've been beat up so many times. I don't know what it's how to describe the pain I've been through. I only defended myself, and that's all you can do at the moment of time. I never used a gun. I just used my head. Now, this is what you need to do: sue, 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 and they'll have to. You don't use an attorney. Get with Mr. Wayne Hage, and he'll help you do it yourself. Because see, lawyers belong to the bar. Using lawyers is like saying, "I'm incompetent. I need assistance." That means you become a ward of the state. They can do whatever they want to you then once you're a ward of the state. Don't become a ward of the state. Don't be classified as a Looney Tune. Just stand your ground, write the best you can, and go to your county commissioners, go to your sheriff, and impeach them. Uh, get a recall on them and recall their ass. And you have a nice day. This is David Everest, otherwise known as Minor Dave, Keeper of the Republic. And my email is keeperoftherepublic@yahoo.com, capital K, all one word. And you guys go with God.